Mitch Lyons here for the Lions Share podcast, where we talk family, faith, football, finance, and fun. I'm your host, Mitch Lyons. Today's episode, I just wanted to touch on a sad topic, really. Yesterday, it was announced by the Tigers that Chet Lemon, former All-Star center fielder, had passed away at the age of 70. And it just kind of hit me in the gut because as a kid, I mean, Chet had an indelible impression on my life, as did a lot of the Tigers, and really from the late 70s, through the 80s, I was, really over the top about the Tigers. And, Chet was a big part of that, along with Tram and Sweet Lou and Gibby and Lance Parrish and Tom Brookins and Larry Herndon and Sparky Anderson and all these guys that I grew up watching. And it's just, it's sad as you get older, nostalgia kicks in as some of these guys start showing their mortality. It's been special for me to be able to, and Mitch Lyons Wealth, to be able to support the Kurt Gibson Foundation for Parkinson's as Gibby, deals with his struggle with Parkinson's, and he's doing everything he can to help people combat it. So that's really been cool, just because of my history of being such a Tiger fan, and Gibby in particular. But Chet, man, when we traded for him, we traded away one of my favorite players, Steve Kemp, who was quite a player in his own right. And so I didn't know much about this Chet Lemon guy. I just knew I was upset they traded Steve Kemp, and a guy that I liked watching play. And in comes this guy from the Chicago White Sox, Chet Lemon, and he definitely won over my heart. Just the way he played, the enthusiasm he brought to the game, the way he ran around center field and caught balls over the fence and stuff, and just timely hitting, and just was such a major cog in that, especially the '84 team, but for that whole decade really, was such a big part of the Tigers team. And to lose him, it's a gut punch. And I know Tiger fans that are older than me that had the experience of watching the '68 Tigers win it all. I'm sure they went through the same thing as those guys have reached the end of their lifetimes. And there's not too many guys off the '84 team that have passed. I mean, Willie Hernandez has, Aurelio Lopez Sr. Smoke, and then obviously Sparky Anderson and a good, probably all the coaching staff. But those guys were amazing, and they had a really important spot in my heart growing up. I used to go really from grade school on. I would, if they're on the West Coast, I would go to bed early, go to bed like 8 o'clock, try to get to sleep, and I'd set my alarm for 11 o'clock so that I could wake up and listen to Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey call games on the radio, and paint that picture for me of what was going on out on that West Coast, be it LA or back then Anaheim, I guess, but or Seattle or wherever they might be playing. It was really cool, and it was a different time for sure. But Chet was a big part of that. And there was a game actually in early '84. I remember it was super cold, and I was sitting in the first row of the upper deck, right above the home team on deck circle. And we had I think it was a 2-0 lead, and it was the bottom of the fourth inning, and the snow was actually flying. It was a really cold day, and it became clear the weather was getting worse. And I remember yelling down to Chet as he stood in the on-deck circle, and I said, "Strike out, Chet, so we can get this thing in," knowing that if the opponent batted in the top of the fifth, they could call it a complete game. And I remember he looked up and he kind of gave me the nod, like, "Yeah, I hear you, brother." So for me, that was kind of cool. It's a memory I'll hold on to, because just that brief connection for me meant the world. But love the guy. It hurts to see him pass on, but it does make me just kind of relish those times and what my affinity for the Tigers and kind of what they gave me. Those guys were heroes, man. All those guys were. I lived and breathed Tiger baseball. So, and it's kind of cool now with this current team. They're kind of capturing people's hearts the way they're playing. Certainly. Resembling that team in '84, which started off just unbelievably with a 35-5 start, which will probably be hard to match ever. But it was pretty cool. But anyway, I just want to say rest in peace, Chester Lemon, and you brought us many great memories. And I just it's a sad day, so I'll just leave it at that. Again, this episode brought to you by Mitch Lyons Wealth. Check us out, MitchLyonsWealth.com. A lot of free tools on there, book, movie, tax tool. You can sign up for a newsletter. So, That's Mitch Lyons Wealth, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement. And on behalf of the Lions Share podcast, I'm Mitch Lyons saying thank you. And subscribe and like and share with your friends. Take care.